What's up guys, Jivan back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some motivation to grind. I get asked all the time, Jivan, how can you play solo arena? I get bored after one game. And I'm also going to be talking about my opinions on whether or not Fortnite is dying, and if it will die in the long run. By the way, I just got my second dose of COVID vaccine yesterday, and so I'm feeling a little off today. So bear with me if I sound tired. Anyways, let's get into this video. Also, don't forget to use code JivanTV in the item shop. Yeah. So I want to start out by saying my opinions on why I think Fortnite is starting to kind of lose popularity a little bit. It's still one of the most popular games, but it has been not feeling quite the same. And this is what I think. I think that having trio FNCS for an entire year is causing a lot of people to stop grinding because some people can't find a trio. It also gets boring playing the same competitive mode for an entire year straight, and it just doesn't have that same feeling that Fortnite had when there'd be a new form of competitive every single season. The game's starting to get so repetitive now because everybody's just grinding the same stuff over and over again, and unless you're placing top 5 in these FNCS tourneys, the grind is probably not worth it because it gets boring. And of course, the prize pools just aren't the same as they used to be. On top of that, in FNCS, the prize pool is all put in the grand finals, so even if you make all the way to heats, you're not making any money unless you make grand finals, which is kind of crazy because that's so much time put in, and if you don't qualify for the grand finals, you get nothing out of it. And that's a big reason why a lot of the pro players are starting to quit. Now don't worry, this whole video isn't going to be a sob story about when Fortnite isn't the same, yada yada. I'm going to be giving you guys some motivation. But I just wanted to say my opinions on that. Like, I think Fortnite should bring back the alternating tournaments. Have it be solos one season, then duos, then trios, and switch it up a lot. That's one of the things that made Fortnite so great, was that it was constantly changing, you had to constantly adapt, and you were never doing the same thing for too long, because anything over and over again gets boring. But let me just say, I'm not losing motivation at all. That's just the general vibe across the whole competitive community, but I'm one of the most optimistic people ever, and I know that great things are ahead. Let me tell you how I stay so motivated. So first off, regarding tournaments, this is how I stay motivated. Even though it's a lot of trios, that doesn't mean you have to be grinding trios. Say you love solos like I do. I'm obsessed with solos, this is my favorite game mode. If you focus all your energy on solos and become one of the best solo players, first of all, there's solo cash cups, and I don't know if you know this, but solo cash cups are pretty much like the most highly watched tournament out of all the tournaments that have been happening. Pretty much anytime someone places first in a solo cash cup, if they post that on their YouTube, it goes so viral compared to trio FNCS videos. And anytime I make a solo video on my YouTube, it does so much better than my trio videos. So if you get really good at solos and start placing in solo cash cups, you can build a big name for yourself in the community. But one of the biggest reasons I love grinding solos is because Fortnite announced World Cup 2.0 like 2 years ago, but they had to postpone it twice because of COVID. And there's a good chance once COVID ends and LAN tournaments are able to come back, Fortnite is going to have another World Cup, and it's going to boost the popularity of Fortnite back to the top of the charts. Now this is really optimistic of me, but even if that doesn't happen, there's bound to be really big solo tournaments in the future. And LAN tournaments, once COVID ends, are going to be a really big thing. People have been excited about LAN tournaments. If you don't know what those are, it's basically tournaments that are held at like an arena or like a center, IRL type tournaments where everybody's in one place. And there's usually big prize pools and a lot of eyes on you. So that's one of the biggest reasons I love grinding solos. I want to stay up on my solo game, 1, for YouTube content, 2, for future solo tournaments, because there's bound to be some more big ones. And think about how popular the solo cash cups are right now. If there's a big solo tournament in the future and you place well in it, celebrity status, you know what I mean? That's how some of the biggest icons in the community came to be. So yeah, if you don't like trios, don't worry, like there's other stuff to grind. Just focus on long-term improvement if you like grinding those game modes, and if you really don't like trios, don't force yourself to play it. Focus on what makes you happy. And I mentioned this earlier, but another reason I love grinding Fortnite is just to make content and stream. There's no better feeling than building a community online and making videos that people want to watch. And trust me, I know it's hard to grow your socials, but if you just keep grinding and keep trying your best to make every video as good as possible, you can do it. And if you don't have enough time to make YouTube content all the time, just focus on one social for now, like TikTok. TikTok is like the biggest social to grow right now, and if you can grow a TikTok social, you can make a career for yourself. So, like I said, if you don't have much time, focus on one social, just make good content as much as you can, and that'll help your motivation to grind the game a lot. And so those are big picture motivation techniques that I use, but what about like short term? You know, you feel stuck at a skill level and you're struggling to gain motivation to grind because you feel like you're not improving. Trust me, I've been there. We all gotta start somewhere, and it's hard to get past that initial hump where you feel stuck at a certain level. So here's some tips to help you out. The biggest thing I can recommend is just start slow and focus on small improvements. For example, if you're struggling to gain arena points, just set small goals for yourself. Maybe like for the week, try to get 1,000 points. Or for the day, try to get 300. If you aim small, you'll be less likely to disappoint yourself. For example, when I play solo cash cups, I don't aim for the money every single week. I'll aim for something like, top 500 in the tourney, which top 500 for some people, that's like aiming big, but just try to do better than you did the week before. Focus on small improvements and small goals that you can be happy with. Another thing is just focus on certain aspects of your game that you want to improve, whether it be aim, piece control, building, and spend the day grinding those things. If you add too much to your plate, you're probably going to get stressed, you're probably going to get frustrated, because the game is hard to improve in, but if you focus on one thing at a time, you'll be much happier in your grind. Back in the day when I was trying to get better, I would focus on one retake for an hour, trying to get better at that retake so that I can really master it. Rather than getting a retake, like say I can do it 1 out of every 3 times and then moving on to another retake, focus on that one retake until you can get it like every time or every other time. Small goals, that goes a long way. And if you ever feel really stuck, just look back at how you were a few months ago and then look at how you are now and check out how you've improved. And if you play arena and you're playing really safe and you get railed anytime somebody tries to fight you, you gotta focus on your fighting, you know? That's one of the biggest things that people struggle with, and I know from experience that it destroys your motivation to grind. But if you're really stuck with fighting, you just need to go back a notch and fight a ton of people in creative. That way you can start focusing on patterns. Focus on their building patterns, trying to predict them, and figure out ways to counter them. That way you're ready to go when you go into arena. Anywhere that you guys have been, I was there at one point, trust me. I've played this game for like 4 years. Same with content. I was stuck at like 100 followers for a solid year, 2 years before I finally started growing. Just focus on improving, focus on mastering your craft, and one day if you keep up the grind, good things will come. Whether it be in competitive, content, whatever you're aiming for. Just set small-term goals for yourself and maybe some long-term goals for yourself, and you'll be much happier grinding the game. Trust. Last thing I want to talk about in this video is why I think Fortnite is not going to die anytime soon. I've tried so many other games, and none of them are quite as addicting as Fortnite, and the reason is, Fortnite is so unique. There's no other games out there that have mechanics like in Fortnite. The reason Fortnite's not going to die is because of building and editing. It creates such a unique feel and a wide skill cap that pretty much every other game I've tried lacks. And trust me, I've tried other games. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy playing other games, but there's no other game that I really enjoy grinding like I do Fortnite. I look at Fortnite and compare it to games like Call of Duty, Apex, and stuff like Super Smash Bros. And Mortal Kombat, and I just look at the fights in each of these games, and Fortnite fights are just so intense. It's constant countering with builds, trying to get peek shots, getting angles, and the fights can go on for so long. If there's 2 good players fighting each other, it's so entertaining to watch. And don't get me wrong, other games are really entertaining to watch too, but people act like Fortnite has nothing unique to the game anymore. It's just so repetitive, so boring. But to me, every single fight feels different. Every single game feels different. That's why I love the game, and some people forget how unique the game is. Anyways, hopefully this video helps give you guys some motivation to grind. I'm gonna keep the content coming. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, use code JivanTV in the item shop, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.